How old were you when you had my dad? You're kind of old when you had my dad, weren't you?
Well, you were my third. I had Mary Jane, and I had Anne, and then I had you. So if you get the book out and read where Mary Jane is, because my children all came within 3 and 4 of each other the whole.
No, no, I mean my dad, Chucky.
Huh?
My dad, Chucky.
Oh, oh, Chuckie.
How old were you when you had
Oh.
Chucky?
Oh, um, I was either going on 45. Wait now, I'll have to. I wasn't supposed to have any more children.
So it was a big surprise, huh?
But the Lord said you got, and that Chucky, that dad of yours was the, I want you kids to know,
Tell me the real story here. He's just
he
a...
was the pet, the sweet, loving, darling pet Chucky that he is today, from the minute he was born. Everybody in this parish, when Mamie Harold had Chuckie Harold, the whole parish knew it. They came to the hospital in flocks to see me and the new baby.
You're about 45 or 50 or something?
Well, let's see. I tell you,
Well, he was born in 1936.
Yeah,
So let's see.
yeah. I was born '88.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yes, I was old to have. Oh, and I went through a lot to have that.
Oh yeah, was it hard?
Yeah, no. But Eleanor was. Wait a minute. Well, it's all down, but I haven't looked it up for so long. That Eleanor was the baby, and she was she 5 or 6? And there was no sign of ever having another baby, never. But all of a sudden, I became deathly ill, and I had never been sick a day in my life. So I had to go twice to the doctor.
Well, you didn't know you were pregnant?
No. And I went to the doctor that one time, and they didn't. Well, they asked a lot of questions. There were 2 doctors I know who had taken care of my children, so they weren't strangers. The doctors weren't strangers to me that I had been to. And I had been to something for, what was that I went to? Was it something on my jaw here or something or other? That I knew those doctors. And then Jack and one of the others we had treated with these 2 doctors. So it wasn't somebody I knew. And by that time, I never dreamed that I was having another baby. But anyway, I had to go back, and I had to go by twice, and they took 2 different examinations of me. And finally, he said, well, we'll let you know. And I came home from the hospital, and the doctor, Dad, was peeling the kitchen there, peeling the potatoes for the supper, because I had been out to the bridge club with my friends. And Frances was home, and she answered the phone. And the doctor said to Eleanor, is your mother there? And Eleanor said, no, doctor, Mother isn't at home. Could I give her a message? And the doctor said, yes, when your mother gets home, tell her to start sewing. And with that, I walked in the door from my bridge club and said, Mom and Dad had come home, and he was peeling the potatoes for supper. And Eleanor had said, the doctor says, tell your mother to start sewing. So anyway, I thought, what did he say? Francis said, Mother, he said, just tell your mother to start sewing. I said, what's he talking about? So then, and then I had to make a date with him, and I went down to a date, and I went through an examination with 2 different doctors. And that never happens to you. But they couldn't believe, because Eleanor was going on 5 years old, and had never, ever been the least sign of me ever having another baby. So I was the talk of this town, Mamie Harold, gonna have a baby. And I had Chuckie, when your Chuckie was born, everybody in Portland, Oregon to France knew all about Mamie Harold's baby boy, Chuckie. And born so near Christmas and all that, it's just something so beautiful. Everybody in the parish knows Chuckie, your dad, from the day he was born, because the whole parish knew. And I wasn't spreading it around, but because I was old and gonna have this baby.
It wasn't hard to have the baby that old?
Huh?
Wasn't it hard when you were that old to have a baby? Any
Was
problem?
what?
Was it difficult or hard?
Well, no.
No complications?
No. They took me to the hospital and I had the baby, and that's all there was to it. Came home with a beautiful baby, and I tell you, he was kissed and hugged like nobody in the whole world ever got kissed and hugged like your dad. And to this day, he's that sweet, sweet, darling person that was my baby boy. Eleanor, you know, Eleanor was 9 or 10 years old. There was never a sign or a thought of ever having